to the part where you become starch. Yeah, but I was just trying to bring a point across that you're always here. You're always there. You're not the accompaniments. The accompaniments are accompanying you. When you're always here. Thank you so much for coming through even today. We are fast approaching Christmas and it's already festive. Was it yesterday? I went to the waterfront. People are in celebration mode. I'm telling you, everywhere you go. And with this city, Cape Town is a mecca of tourism. Everybody is there. And I look at the way people are spending. You would swear there was a grant for Christmas. You'd swear everybody's got extra income the way people are going about their spending. And it reminded me of you to say, yay! Yeah, now would stop everyone like, hey, stop, let's check. Is this extra income that you're spending, or have you planned? How should we approach these holidays here now in terms of this Christmas and spending?
Um, First of all, just before I get to this, I just want to jump on into what your previous speaker was talking about. I actually also one of my strategic partners is Old Mutual, so
Oh,
I work
wonderful.
with all those products, and
Yeah.
I can assist all the listeners in terms of that. As
Mm,
to actually touch on before I talk about Christmas was getting into, I know this is the time when people draw up New Year's Eve, I mean, no, sorry, New Year's resolution.
yeah.
And one
Yeah.
of the key things that I would suggest that you add on your New Year's resolution is review your insurance policies. Evaluate, update insurance cover to ensure that it still aligns with your current needs.
Mm,
Remove cover that you don't need anymore and make sure that it's for the circumstances. I'm reminded of, I think, Job 29:6, when it says, when my path was drenched with cream and rock poured out for me streams of olive oil. So you
mm.
need that. But back onto the Christmas spending.
Yeah.
what is the what is the core thing? And you've already thought of it. One of the things I want to advise is that with your bonuses, first of all, the 13 check, the bonuses, think about school fees and making sure that you maximize on that school fees discount. So making sure that you pay for that first upfront. Make sure that you pay for stationery, because
Yeah.
stationery goes up in January, unlike everything else, because they know we
Mm,
need it.
mm, mm,
Make
mm.
sure you get the uniforms now, because they know then it's going to increase, unlike the other products that go down in January. So then make sure you maximize the discounts. There are things that are going to be way much cheaper when it comes to in January, but there's obviously like the school stuff, and stationery, school fees. Make sure that you use a 13 sec to maximize on that, because there's discounts and they are slightly cheaper now than it would be in January. So I would say, instead of spurging, do that. Take on your 13 check, I would say take 5% for yourself. You have been working hard, it's been
Mm.
a long year, and make sure that then you use that. But then the rest of the 95%, make sure that you make some you do all of that. And if when you've done all of that, the important stuff, I would really highly recommend that you look at your tax savings. Where are you with your retirement annuity and retirement planning? Where are you with in terms of your tax-free savings? Have you maximized the 36,000 per year? If not, that's a place where you can put those monies in. And then if when you need it in January, you can already withdraw from that, but you've already had the tax benefits because you've deposited, and there would have been also a month of interest already.
Wow. Okay. It sounds like a great place to start. I know it's difficult, Yena, to be looking at your money now. The 13 check drops, and for people like teachers, it drops very early in December. Drops very early, and now you've got all of this money suddenly sitting in your account, and it becomes easy to spend. How do we get that discipline? How do we get the discipline to say, no, no, I'm not going to buy imvu for Christmas and buy Christmas clothes. How do we get that discipline? Where do we start?
So it's a hard one, given I'll be honest with you, and hence it's important to have accountability partners like ourselves to help
Mm,
you walk the
mm,
journey
mm.
and eventually get there. And I know this sounds cliche. One of the things that I wanted to mention with today was, at the year, during the end of the year, we always think about things that we need to cut off, and then things that we want to New Year's resolution that we want to start doing, and then things that we as in leave behind. So one of the things is to create a budget and create a plan. So it's cliche, it's oversaid, but when you develop a realistic budget, that's why you need an accountability with yourself, because sometimes we create these budgets and they're not realistic, and then that's why it's demotivating for people to not do budgets and then they don't stick to it. So provide yourself with a clear financial plan that you know is realistic. You regularly monitor your finances, you set specific goals, and the other thing that we as believers actually have a shortfall is that you need to also plan your charitable giving. So I call it a charitable giving plan. Where you develop a structured plan for your charitable giving and align that with your personal values, contributing to the well-being of others. I think 2 Corinthians 9:7 says, each of you should give what you have decided in your heart to give, not reluctantly or under compulsion. For God loves a cheerful giver. But we always look at the last part. God loves a cheerful giver, but it says what you have decided in your heart, which goes to planning. So we need to plan these things. And obviously, we've said this before, that charitable giving is over and above what you call the tithing. And then the other thing in terms of the saving and sticking to the plan, it's also, I think, in Corinthians, I think it's the first one in 16:2, it says, upon the first day of the week, let every one of you lay by him in store as God hath prospered him, that there be no gatherings. Which means over and above the tithing, you need to, on the first day of the week, you set aside savings. So savings is a biblical concept. Go to with me, but you can't argue with the Bible. So go to the Bible. With that said, given we are human, we are flesh, we're not able to do everything. So Psalm 37 says the wicked borrows and doesn't pay back, but the righteous pays. So when you get your payments, and most of us, not just the teachers, the educators, there's many people, even some of my employees are getting, I'll have to pay them early because some of them are non-South African and they need to go home for Christmas. But that means now you have a month, which is 40 days or 45 days, because then your next payment is 40 days. So you need to just be realistic. As you get the monies now, pay the rent for January. As you get the monies now, pay your car installments, pay your house bond or your rent, all your obligations. Make sure you pay them as soon as the money comes. And because unfortunately we are human, and you will get those things. And when it happens in the atmosphere, you're within that energy. So just put those measures in place and make sure that soon as the money comes, do the things that you need to do. And hopefully you would have already drawn up a plan before at the beginning of the month, and you know exactly what you need to have paid for.
Here's an idea, Yena, and I'm not going to put trademark on it. I'll just open it out there. As a people, we have this obsession with food. If you look at all of the Stokvels, it's Stokvel season now. It's bundles and bundles of food, of cooking oil, of mayonnaise and tomato sauce. Why can't we have a Stokvel for the stationery and school things? Why can't we have a saving Stokvel? Why can't we have products that promote tomorrow than with food? No matter how much you want, your Stokvel food, you are going to eat it and you're going to finish it. And you're going to work backwards. But why can't we have products of Stokvels that can contribute to the education of our children, can contribute to wealth creation? That's an idea.
That's actually, we have a similar product. I mean, I think your guest before this will probably argue with me, but I work with all the brokers because I'm independent. So in Sanlam, we have something similar to that. When you work, the interest, it gains interest, number one. So it's not like your traditional softballs where we put money and there's no interest in it. So it gains money, number one. And number two, it gains, there's no cost into it. And then it's also not taxed on the interest because you work within those constraints of a tax-free environment. So it's different people that come in, which individually kind of have their own tax-free accounts, but they invest it together in a whole, in one jar. And because it's one jar, it's able to then incorporate higher interest than you investing on yourself. I've got a group of ladies in Pretoria. What they've done, they actually do that. They pay right now. They cash up the what you call the whole tax fees or this group social tax-free stokvel at the end of December, and they make sure then they buy the stationery, they buy uniform, and they pay school fees up front.
Very smart.
Every single year.
Very,
they
very
don't
smart.
so with that, not only are they able to take advantage of the settling the school fees upfront discounts, but they're only also getting tax savings. So when they submit their tax in September, they get a savings and they get monies from SARS because this vehicle is a vehicle that it does not amount to tax, and that's what the government has given us. So we need to use those tools.
My heart is always with the church. My heart is always with the house of God. At Maisha, do you guys do seminars? Do you guys do workshops? Do you come to churches and do a presentation of the services that you offer? Because I think this information that you have has a lot of ears that are waiting for it in churches, because churches are full of people who beyond the demons, who beyond the troubles. There's the question of planning and decision making that is plaguing our people. Do you do those? Would you be interested in doing such?
Yes, we actually do that. So we do it not just for churches and non-profit organizations. We do it for schools as well. So there's schools for financial literacy. The Bible says we need to teach them young how to the way that they should go. Yes, it's from a biblical point of view, as in yes, you teach them the way of the Lord, but you also need to teach financial planning, financial literacy whilst the kids are young. So I do group for schools. I do groups for graduates. So those students that are in the final year about to graduate. I do also group for just entry. So when you get to a job, how to negotiate in terms of your salary slips, which how much your percentages in terms of tax and what's not. And I also go to churches in terms of mirroring the two, because there is practical knowledge and wisdom, but it's also these things are biblical. Often we try, as in when we go to the secular world, we say all these wonderful advice, and people don't want to go to the secular, and they think it's just, oh, this person is so smart, but really it's just paraphrasing what the Bible already said. One of the things I wanted to highlight was, I know this is that one of the gifts that you can give people as a Christmas present is actually financial planning consultation. Offer the gifts of financial advice by arranging a consultation with a financial planner to help set goals and plan for the future. Because in Proverbs 15:22, it says, plans fail for lack of counsel. But with many advisors, they succeed. So we plan on our own, because we regularly say the Habakkuk, as in put your vision, write it plain, but then we plan on our own without advisors, without counsels. And then we don't see those succeed. So one of the things as a Christmas present, I think, why don't you just offer people a gift of financial consultation? And yes, to answer your question in short, I do group consultation and counseling.
Don't worry, I've come to accept that there are no short answers at Maisha. I've accepted that very long time ago that you will get the long answer. I'm happy. Now, my wife and I, we tend to try and talk to each other, but the Bible does say that when the blind lead the blind, the outcome there is disaster. So we need services of people like Maisha. Any Christmas specials at Maisha?
I am actually having a Christmas special. We are having a Christmas special for vouchers that but you can't buy for yourself, so you must find someone else. So if you're gifting someone a financial, Yes. So what you call, sorry, doing there, we do a what we would do over 2 weeks. I mean, 2 sessions on one session. And usually those are our sessions, which are 1.5 each. So we're doing it for 600 Rand. And what
Okay.
you do, you get a whole full financial planning and a full financial needs assessment. And then we also do your review in terms of your current insurance. So we'll review your insurance, all your insurance policies. We'll review also all your medical aid plans that you have, or health insurance plans, to see where you're at. And then we do a whole financial needs analysis. And then after that, we'll do a second follow-up free. It's included in that voucher, where you then give you a proposal of a plan. Then thereafter, obviously, the sessions will be the charge if you still want us to work with you as per accountability partners.
Right. Just saying, Pastor G does receive Christmas gifts, so it's a friendly company. I'm just putting it out there, and his birthday is on the 1st of Jan. So such
Oh,
gifts.
is it?
Yeah. So these type of things, Yeah, Yena. Any last words? No. I will stretch it, because I want us to talk about these New Year's resolutions. Maybe take about 5 minutes or so. My time is already up, but let's take about 5 minutes and talk about the resolutions. I think it's very important.
Yeah, so before we go, let me talk about one more financial gift that you can give, because this one works for both for Christmas, for both adults, but I love it so much for kids.
Yeah.
So I don't know do you know that you can gift someone an ETF, which is basically, in simple terms, it's a unit trust. If kids, you do it as a tax-free savings. And again, like I said, the reason you do a tax-free is because there's no taxes on the interest and your gains. So I can gift you that. You don't have any obligation, or neither do I, to put those to contribute to any monthly contributions to it. I put whatever amount. So I've got 2,000 Rand and I gift it into your name. We put it there. But the reason I love it for kids is one of the things that you give your child. It's an opportunity to actually teach them and show them that this money grows. They only have access to them when they're 18. And I know most people are like, oh, but then by the
All right, the network there, Yena, is really letting us down.
Then they get this money, and then they got 10 years, 12 years, 18 years, and then they see, oh, is that better?
Now better, now much better, yeah.
Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, so as kids learn by seeing, I think everyone will know this. So as you show them the magic of compound interest. So and most of us say the government must give financial literacy and must show kids have initiative. Let's be the government in our homes. Our homes
yes,
are
I like
actually
that.
the
I like
classroom for financial. And let's do those works, because once they learn that, you teach them when they get those birthday gifts or whatever monies from uncles, and then they can also start contributing to that, because you don't have to do it every month. You give them, and then it grows, and you show them and you monitor it. By the time they get there, this what I also like goes to what you're saying in terms, which is what I love talking about in churches, is that the tendencies and the personalities that we go. Because what happens sometimes is that you find, given you are of age, you've got lots of money, but there's nothing to tell, and you are not wealthy, because there's a difference.
Yeah.
Because of your money personalities, your journey, your relationship with money, and your and how you have characterized yourself with money. And sometimes we need to heal that. So I've got a session in February where we're saying healing your money story, and your making sure we reset your relationship with money. So this is where you can actually develop that pattern, and making sure that your child has the right relationship with money, has the right personality, and has the right tendencies that he.
Right. Yeah. We need to book one in Cape Town as well in the near future there, Yena. very soon, yeah.
Most definitely. So in terms of New Year's resolutions, like I said, we've already dealt with the budget. The one other thing I wanted is to debt reduction. If you want to think debt reduction, make sure you prioritize paying debts and liberating your finances from unnecessary burdens.
Yeah.
Romans 13 says, let no debts remain outstanding except the continuing debts of love to one another. So make sure that you pay your debts. And again, partner with a certified financial advisors, because when you've got debts, yes, you need to pay it, but there's a strategy in how to make sure you pay it and it works to your best interest. So it's not just high interest that you start with. It's not just high lump sums. It's a science, and it works per individual. And also when it comes to that, people that are qualified are able to also negotiate with those powers that be that you owe and the people that you owe, so that you are able to pay less, although you had owed more. And the other thing is that I know also we like is I think Proverbs 22:26 says, be thou not one of them, strike hands of that are sureties of death. I'm paraphrasing here, but basically, do not agree to be a surety. So we like this a lot. I open an account, a clothing account on your behalf. I take dates on your behalf, or I sign dates and you are using it. Do not. If there's a new resolution you need to take, those are the two. And again, I've given you scripture. You can't argue with me on that.
Yena, thank you very much. Look, I've stretched it. Please give us your social media handles. Where do we find you?
You find us on Instagram at Maisha_FS. You find us on Facebook, Maisha Financial Services. On LinkedIn, also Maisha Financial Services. On email, it's admin@maishafinancialservices.co.za. You can DM us on all our social media platforms, and then we'll respond accordingly.
Wonderful. Yena, thank you very much for coming through today.
Well, you're welcome, and have a good Christmas. And again, make sure that you prioritize experiences over gifts that are not gonna just end up being clutters, and make sure you don't get into debt for any food, any festivities, any celebrations.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Yena. We'll speak to you again soon. There you have it. It's Yena Kuboni. She's back on the radio again next week. We don't take a day off, me and Yena. We're back next week and the week after and the week after. This radio station never goes on holiday. So make sure that you are tuned to Yena Kuboni and many others who are coming on the show. Later on, I've got a dynamic woman. I've got a woman so heavy. She's coming onto the show, Dr. Petla. She will be on the show to, give us that mpako as we go into the festive, as we go into Christmas, to empower us. She is an amazing woman of God. She is an educationist. If there is something like that, she's going to beat me up because she is an English expert, and I'm busy inventing words here. But we play some song, and I keep my 9 to 5. I do what I know how to do.
You are tuned